The night of May 12, 2026, at 10:26 p.m., on the terrace of a house in the Katara Hills area of Bhopal, Twisha Sharma was found hanging from a rope tied to an exercise hoop, just 5 months after her wedding. The post-mortem from AIIMS Bhopal recorded the cause of death as hanging. Her in-laws claimed she died due to psychological issues. But her own family saw unusual injuries on her body, and they didn't believe that for a second. Her brother, Major Twisha Sharma, an officer in the Indian Army, stood in front of news cameras and said plainly that his sister had been tortured, forced to terminate her pregnancy, and killed. The family refused to accept the body, demanding a second post-mortem, and Twisha's body remained in the mortuary for 12 days, until that request was finally granted. Her husband, Samarth Singh, a criminal lawyer, fled the moment the case broke and disappeared for 10 days. Twisha's mother-in-law, Giribala Singh, was a former district. And when local police began investigating a case involving a former judge, the Supreme Court of India stepped in itself. Who was Twisha Sharma, and what actually happened during those short 5 months of marriage? Twisha Sharma was born and raised in Noida, Uttar Pradesh. She was a highly educated woman, an MBA graduate who had worked as a communication and onboarding manager at a major company in Delhi before getting married. But Twisha wasn't known just for her office job. In 2012, she was crowned Miss Pune and went on to build a career in modeling and acting. She appeared in several ads and Telugu films, including Mugguru Monagallu. Most recently, she starred alongside Rashmika Mandana in The Girlfriend, 2025. Those close to Twisha described her as strong, independent, and full of ambition. Her family was a solid pillar of support. Her brother, Major Twisha Sharma, served in the Indian Army. Her sister-in-law, Captain Dr. Rashi Abrol, was also in the military. Her father was Navnidhi Sharma and her cousin, Naina Sharma. In 2024, through a matrimonial website, Twisha met Samarth Singh, a criminal lawyer in Bhopal and the son of former district judge Giribala Singh. Both families met, agreed, and decided to go ahead with the wedding. Nobody in Twisha's family had any idea that decision would be the beginning of everything about to unfold. On December 9, 2025, Twisha and Samarth's wedding took place in Delhi, a grand and lavish affair. The guest list included film stars, judges, and well-known lawyers. Their wedding photos spread widely on social media, and not one person there that day could have imagined what was about to happen. After the wedding, Twisha left Noida and moved to Bhopal to live with her husband's family in the Katara Hills area. It was the first time she'd ever left her own family to start a new life in a city that was completely unfamiliar to her. To the outside world, this was the story of a young, accomplished couple starting a life together. But according to allegations from Twisha's family, right after she stepped into that house in Katara Hills, her life began to change in a way nobody in her family could have foreseen. And what happened in the months that followed, only the people living inside that house truly know. According to allegations from Twisha's family in the CBI's FIR, right after the wedding, Twisha began facing mounting pressure from her husband's side. Samarth Singh and his mother Giribala Singh kept demanding more dowry, around 2 lakh rupees. Even though Twisha's family had already provided everything as agreed beforehand. Not only that, according to Twisha's brother, Major Twisha Sharma, she was also kept from accessing her own money, not allowed to spend freely, having to ask permission for even the smallest daily expenses. Things got worse once Twisha became pregnant. Instead of welcoming the news, Samarth Singh doubted the child was even his and openly accused Twisha of having an affair. Under pressure from her husband and mother-in-law, Twisha was forced to terminate the pregnancy. This is an allegation the Singh family completely denies, insisting the decision was Twisha's own. On top of that, mother-in-law Giribala Singh told the press that Twisha had been using prescription drugs and cannabis, a claim later completely disproved by the post-mortem, which found no such substances in Twisha's body whatsoever. Twisha continued living in the house at Katara Hills over the following months, until the night of May 12, 2026. At 10:26 p.m. on May 12, 2026, Twisha Sharma was found hanging from a rope tied to an exercise hoop on the terrace of her in-laws' house in the Katara Hills area of Bhopal. She was taken to hospital but didn't make it and was pronounced dead. The first post-mortem, carried out by the Department of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology at AIIMS Bhopal, recorded the cause of death as hanging. The report noted a two-directional reddish ligature mark around the upper third of the neck, with an incomplete ligature mark at the back, a detail that's typically scrutinized closely in hanging cases. There were also signs of asphyxia, including facial congestion and a bluish discoloration of the nails and ears. Notably, the report also documented several pre-death injuries on Twisha's body, including an abrasion on the left side of her neck, bruising on her left upper arm, left forearm, right wrist, and right index finger, along with a 2 by 2 centimeter bruise beneath the scalp on the left side of her forehead. The Singh family maintained Twisha had died due to psychological issues, but Twisha's family refused to accept that conclusion, and that's when their fight for justice began. Right after getting the news, Major Harshit Sharma and Captain Dr. Rashi Abrol stood in front of the press and openly accused Samarth Singh and Giribala Singh of torturing Twisha, harassing her over dowry and causing her death. The family made an unprecedented decision. They refused to accept the body, in protest of the initial post-mortem findings, and demanded a second post-mortem carried out by a team of doctors from AIIMS Delhi. Twisha's body remained in the hospital mortuary for 12 days. The situation grew especially serious when Bhopal police had to issue a formal letter urging the family to accept the body, since AIIMS Bhopal had no -80°C freezer for long-term preservation, and the body was beginning to decompose while being kept at just -4°C. The family also held a protest outside the residence of the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. Twisha's father, Navnidhi Sharma, filed a formal complaint demanding the CBI take over the case instead of leaving it to local police. While the family kept up the fight, one of the key suspects had already vanished. On May 14, 2026, Madhya Pradesh police formally registered an FIR against Samarth Singh and Giribala Singh under sections covering dowry harassment and causing death, as per the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita 2023 and the Dowry Prohibition Act 1961. Right after that, Samarth Singh disappeared. Police issued a manhunt notice and initially offered a reward of 10,000 rupees for any information on his whereabouts, later raised to 30,000 rupees once no leads came in. The Bar Council of India suspended Samarth Singh's license to practice law while the case remained under investigation. Meanwhile, Giribala Singh was initially granted temporary bail by the trial court, but the Madhya Pradesh High Court later overturned that decision after reviewing the evidence and witness statements the trial court had overlooked. For 10 days, Samarth Singh was the man the whole of India was searching for. On May 23, 2026, the Supreme Court of India took up the case on its own, under suo motu proceedings, an extremely rare move in Indian judicial history. The Chief Justice of India expressed concern that having a former judge investigated by local police could raise doubts about fairness and damage public trust in the justice system. The court directed both families to stop making public statements to the press and to give their statements to investigators instead, not in front of TV cameras. It also directed the media not to record statements from anyone who could be a witness or an accused in the case. On May 25, 2026, the CBI formally took over the investigation on the Supreme Court's orders, re-registering the case file and beginning to gather forensic and digital evidence from scratch.
And right before the CBI took over, one crucial event took place.
On May 22nd, 2026, after 10 days on the run, Samarth Singh showed up at Jabalpur court, intending to turn himself in. But the sessions judge refused to accept his application. Jabalpur police arrested Samarth right there at the court and handed him over to Bhopal police. On May 24, 2026, after 12 days in the mortuary, the team of doctors from AIIMS Delhi completed the second post-mortem. That same day, Twisha Sharma was cremated, under close watch from the press and her family. On May 28, 2026, Giribala Singh was arrested by the CBI after hours of questioning right after the Madhya Pradesh High Court overturned her temporary bail. On June 2, 2026, both Samarth Singh and Giribala Singh were placed in formal judicial custody. And as the CBI dug deeper into the investigation, new details began coming to light. The CBI began collecting digital and forensic evidence, including call records, WhatsApp chats, and witness statements. During the investigation, the CBI found that Giribala Singh had attempted to tamper with evidence. She had reached out to the household's CCTV technician and a staff member at a nearby salon, even sending someone to collect camera footage before police could get access to it. On top of that, she refused to provide a voice sample to the CBI when asked, even as call records and WhatsApp chats were emerging as crucial evidence the CBI was analyzing. On June 1, 2026, the CBI carried out a scene reconstruction using a mannequin at Giribala Singh's house in Katara Hills to establish exactly what had happened on the night of May 12. There was also a particularly notable episode in the legal proceedings themselves. The first judge assigned to the case, Neelam Shukla, had to recuse herself, having once received judicial training under Giribala Singh, back when she was an additional district and sessions judge in Gwalior. The case was then transferred to Judge Ram Pratap Mishra. This was a case where even the judicial system itself had to step back and check itself. Twisha Sharma left Noida in December 2025, carrying with her all the hope of a young woman starting a new chapter of her life. She left behind her family, her career, the life she'd built for herself in Noida, to move to Bhopal. Her father, Navnidhi Sharma, had arranged her wedding with all the love a father could give. Her brother, Major Harshit Sharma, stood there at that wedding and took photos with his sister, with no idea it would be one of the last happy moments they'd ever share together. Just 5 months later, Navnidhi Sharma had to stand outside a hospital mortuary, demanding the right to know the truth about his own daughter's death. And Major Harshit Sharma had to leave his army posting to stand in front of news cameras, saying things he wished he never had to say. This is the price a family pays when the truth is hidden away. As of July 25, 2026, the special CBI court in Bhopal, presided over by Judge Ram Pratap Mishra, rejected Giribala Singh's bail application, citing her former position in the judiciary as reason enough that she could influence witnesses if released. Both Samarth Singh and Giribala Singh have remained in custody since June 2, 2026. The CBI is finalizing its case file ahead of filing the formal charge sheet, and the case is moving towards official trial. Twisha's family continues to follow every development, hoping justice will finally be served for their daughter, their sister. The Twisha Sharma case is now awaiting a final verdict from the court. A talented, highly educated woman, a former Miss Pune who'd appeared on the big screen, died just 5 months after her wedding, under circumstances her family calls anything but ordinary. Her husband, a criminal lawyer. Her mother-in-law, a former district judge. And the Supreme Court of India had to step in itself over concerns about the fairness of the investigation. Given that both the husband and the mother-in-law come from within the legal profession, do you think justice can truly be served in full in this case? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Twisha Sharma's story isn't just a criminal case. It's a story about a system in which power and status can obscure the truth, at least for a while. A former judge accused of harassing her daughter-in-law over dowry. A lawyer who fled for 10 days after his wife's death. Local police investigating a case connected to someone who was once their own judge. And the first judge assigned to the case having to recuse herself, having once studied under the very woman now accused. But through all of that, one thing changed the course of events. Twisha's family didn't stay silent. They stood before the press. They refused to accept the body for 12 days. They protested outside the chief minister's residence. And it was that very persistence that forced the Supreme Court of India to step in and the CBI to take over the investigation. The most important lesson in this story is that when power obscures the truth, sometimes it's only the persistence of those brave enough to speak up that can change the course of things. Remember her name, Twisha Sharma, 1993 to 2026, former Miss Pune, actress. A woman who entered marriage with all the hope in the world and left it under circumstances the whole of India is now demanding be brought to light.